Okay.
Looks same to me.
It's definitely a little bit different on my end. That's weird.
Is it pixelized?
No, I wouldn't say that. It's sleeker, if anything. Like it's like I can see
You're
at the
talking
top. It's
about
like
the UI. Okay, your room looks a little pixelated or something in the background on the red and stuff on my screen. It looks a little
oh,
pixelated.
okay,
You
good to
look
know.
fine. It's just the background is a little pixelated. I thought maybe that was Restream doing some kind of effect or something.
If it is, I'm unaware of it.
Oh, I bet no one would even notice had I not pointed it out.
Well, I appreciate you.
Who's got the next movie?
Do you want it?
I don't care.
Okay.
I still haven't decided for sure.
Me neither. I got it down to 5, which exactly what I had last week, and like I am torn.
Is it the same 5, or did you rotate some in?
It's slightly different. I mean, it might be 6 actually. Now that I'm saying it. What am I doing? Oh, that's what I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. So I've got I almost want to do like marbles on stream and just let somebody else figure out what it is. Thank you, Crow. Appreciate you, buddy.
Or just like randomly.
Crow randomly giving bits, or me randomly figuring out what movie it is.
No, yeah, the random movie choice.
Yeah. Potentially, because like honestly, I'm leaning pretty hard on 2, and I'm terrified to do one of them based on how this goes.
I'm worried about doing Primer because I've talked it up so much. I feel like I've made impossible hype to get to. So I kind of want to go with something else. I thought about Whiplash, but one of you has already seen that. I want to focus on something that nobody's seen.
I'm not as worried about choosing something that you guys haven't seen specifically. Like that's not really one of my criteria.
Mm-hmm.
It's more a matter of like, am I going to choose something like straight up knowing you're not going to like it just because I love it, or pick something that you guys will like, or just I don't know.
I just picked a genre we haven't done yet.
Keep that to myself. All right.
Have we done martial arts movie?
No.
Oh, I thought we were talking about dubbed over movies, but
oh no, we've definitely had some dubs.
We've definitely done some dubs. Graphics.
Well, that's not the right movie poster.
I'm working on it.
It's close. Same year.
It's only one. Well, it's only 1 week off.
Bubba Hotep, we've all seen Snatch. Is the thing. Got to get something a little bit fresher in here.
Snatch is one of the ones I'm debating. Because we'll never do it otherwise. Right? Like, it's the only time we'll ever get to talk about it. There's no franchise there. There's like he makes the same movie over and over again, but that's not a franchise.
Right? Yeah. Will, is there a Rumble in the Bronx 2?
No.
Okay, because I've seen multiple movie posters for Rumble in the Bronx 2, and it's in 2025, 2026, and 2027. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure it's a fan base one. It's with Jason Statham and Chris Tucker, and of course Jackie Chan, and sometimes Ice-T. I don't know why sometimes Ice-T in there.
It's like Rush Hour meets Rumble in the Bronx meets the Transporter.
Yeah.
Now, out of curiosity, we hadn't discussed this before, so I'm just going to do it live, and so be it.
Yeah.
Do we want we're not going to put this on the main chart?
No.
It's going to be
on the Patreon chart.
Exactly. Do we put it on the Patreon because those are all singles?
Yeah, put it on the Patreon chart.
Sure.
Okay.
What's up, B-Ridge? Welcome in.
All right, so I'll have that ready to go.
Oh, Dan, did you knock on my thing or send me a thing or whatever?
Sure.
Come and knock on my door.
I'll send it over to you.
I'll send it over to you.
Did you play any Arc Raiders or anything, or just hanging out with chat while you were killing time waiting for me?
I just hung out with chat the whole time. Didn't do a damn thing.
And how was that?
It was fine. We basically talked about you and how you're lazy and you never show up on time.
Wow.
No, we talked about everything under the sun and mostly just how my schedule's pretty busy. That's about it.
All of the logos. Oh, sorry. All of the logos I'm seeing are thick, unfortunately. Share chat is on. Looks like I don't have to do anything.
Logos? Oh, you mean for the poster board?
Yeah. Like they're all like Rumble next line in the next line Bronx.
Yeah.
So I might just make my own. I mean, it's a pretty standard looking font anyways.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's besides the point.
I mean, they didn't spend a lot of money on the finer details, that's for sure. We'll get into that, I'm sure.
Well, I have to ask you how, because this is never mind, we'll save it.
Yeah.
I will.
I'm looking forward to it, Dan. I'm looking forward to it. Does that answer your question?
It does, but I'm going to ask you again in a second anyways.
That's fine.
I was curious, Will, what your background would be coming to us from the back of the Asian market there. I like that.
Yeah, that's good, eh?
Yeah. I'm in the cockpit of a hovercraft.
Yeah, that was nice. That's nice.
There's a million pictures of cockpits of the hovercraft, but you can't tell what kind of cockpit it is. It's just like a lot of dials and stuff.
A lot of dials, switches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Copy, paste. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Demillion, it's Rumble in the Bronx today. We're a little bit of a late start here. Blame that on Dan. And we're just waiting for him to get things ready while we BS and kind of catch up and warm up for our recording.
All right. So same as always. I should have given you more warning about this, and I do apologize. Same as always, we'll just do the regular like login, like have Will do the intro and I'll say what the show is and then talk to you guys about your experience with this. But I'm gonna give Will a bit more prep time at the beginning here. Like, this is your pick. I want you to discuss kind of like why you picked it. Like, this is one of your not one of your Patreon picks, one of your flicks that make you tick. Like, are you cool with that? If I just kind of like
sure, that's fine.
Leave you out there for a minute.
Yeah.
All right. Then
whether I'll fill a minute or not, who knows?
There's a joke there, but I'm gonna leave it alone.
Hey,
all right. I wish it wouldn't do that. I wish it wouldn't change which cameras you guys are on when we change scenes. Or I wish I could change scenes so that it would be like Will is big, Brian's big, Dan is big from changing the scene as opposed to actually like highlighting you and then maximizing you. That would be much better. But anyways, okay. Are you guys ready to go? I know I'm super late to this. It's already 9:30. I'm assuming you don't want to do like a game or something to start off. I just want to get in and get out.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Good to jump in.
Cool. The floor is yours, sir.
Rumble in the Bronx, 1995. Love is in the air, but in the Bronx, things move fast, and first-time visitor Kyung goes from hearing the bells of his uncle's wedding to getting his bell rung by the local gangs. It's time to rumble.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to our rating. This is the show where I get together with a couple of my friends. We take a movie franchise, break it down by movie, give it an overall score, and throw it back up on the board to see where it lands compared to the other movie franchises. Now, you'll notice this week we're talking about Rumble in the Bronx, which is not part of any franchise. That's because we're doing our March movie madness, where we are each going to pick a movie, can be any movie we want, and we're going to discuss that one. This kind of gives us our way to flex our muscles a little bit and talk about something other than a franchise, because we've been doing that for a year and a half, and it's kind of nice to talk about other movies. So this week, Will got to choose Rumble in the Bronx. So I'm going to start with Brian. Brian, is this your first time seeing this one, or have you seen it before?
I thought I had seen it before, Dan, but it turns out that I'd only seen the second half of the film.
Okay.
In my opinion, the more memorable half, maybe. I don't know. So I started watching this. I'm like, wait, I don't know this film. And then I got halfway through and I was like, okay, yeah, I have seen it, but I hadn't seen the first half. So that's it. I'd seen half.
Okay. I've never seen this. I've seen the poster for years. I can remember it at my local store, but never rented it, never watched it until this week. But of course, Will, this is your choice. You chose this one. And 2 years ago, we did a Flicks That Make You Tick. And this was in your movies, Flicks That Make You Tick. So go ahead, tell us what this movie means to you and why you chose it this week.
Yeah, I mean, the main reason I chose Rumble in the Bronx for this specific encounter, or our March Madness, so to speak, is because we haven't really done a martial arts movie yet. And so I thought that was a genre that we could tap into. And I really enjoyed the martial arts genre as a whole. And now this movie specifically was my introduction to Jackie Chan movies. I got to see this in theaters when it released in North America in 1996. Saw it with my family who love action movies, martial arts movies. So it was a great experience that will always be memorable to me. Not to mention the style Jackie Chan brings to martial arts movies is something that I hadn't seen before. His fluidity on camera mixed with his comedic timing and just all around good nature. Like he's such a positive presence on screen. It's just something that I really was drawn towards and wanted to make me dive in deeper into the Jackie Chan library.
Very nice.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Will, but this movie kind of opened the door for Jackie Chan to grow his career in Hollywood, right?
That's correct. He was already like a superstar in China with multiple movies under his belt. And this was probably his fifth attempt to break into Hollywood, his fifth movie. He did 3 or 4 movies prior to this, starting from like the 80s, early 80s. And then eventually he was like, you know what? I'm just going to make my own movie because I know how to highlight myself and I'll base it in New York. I'll put a lot of English in it so it kind of appeals to the American audience. And it took off. The guy knows what he's doing, I think.
And speaking of knowing what he's doing, he does all his own stunts, correct?
Absolutely. Another huge draw for me is not only just actors that do their own stunts, but movies that you can see what's happening. You know, a lot of modern action movies, especially in Hollywood, it's a lot of shaky cam, quick cuts. Whereas traditionally with martial arts or Asian, martial arts movies, there's a lot of longer cuts and you can see the fights happening. And I really appreciate the physicality and the choreography that goes into it.
And not only the fights, but some of the crazier stunts too. They don't pull away from the shot. It's not CG. It's all practically done right there. And the great part of this film, spoiler, is that afterwards you get to see him fail at a whole bunch of those stunts. Which
not only him, a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people, and it looked painful. Like there was blood shed making this movie. So it was really it adds to the film to know how much was put into it.
Yeah,
there was a really cool scene at the end there where you see Jackie Chan jumps and unfortunately looks like he breaks his foot or ankle or something.
He does break his ankle, yes.
His ankle. But they have like a cast and like something that goes over the cast to look like his shoe
Sneaker.
and pant leg so that he can essentially keep going and it doesn't look like, I'm sure if you look for it, you can see it at some point in the movie, but I never noticed it without that. So like Trooper Jackie Chan broke his ankle at some point and it's just like, no, we got to keep filming. Like the movie's not done. We got to keep going.
Not to mention he broke his ankle that day, kept working, then went to like an opening night of a different movie he was doing. It was like, this guy, he never stops. He never stops. This guy it's crazy until, one day he's going to stop. But I mean, incredible feats of strength this man has and endurance. His capabilities are through the roof as far as I'm concerned.
For sure.
So I'm kind of curious, Will, this one's your baby that you sent out to us. Where do you think, without hearing anything from us, where do you think our numbers are going to land? Do you think Dan's going to come in high or low? You think I'm going to come in high or low? What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
I like this game. This is good.
I think Dan's going to come in real low for multiple reasons. This is not a perfect movie by any stretch of the word. And I know that. But it has a soft spot for me. And it does showcase a great talent on screen, mainly Jackie Chan. This movie is about Jackie Chan. Everything else is pretty much. So I think Dan's going to come in low for that reason. I also don't know if he's a big martial arts movie fan in general. Whereas I think, Brian, you will be higher on the scale. But again, I don't think anybody's rating this.
For those of you who are new to this episode on YouTube, we rate these films and we put them on a board at the end and you can see where our scores come in. We average them out. When we're working with a franchise, we rate the entire franchise. But if it's a Patreon pick or one of our March Madness picks, it's a singular film going film versus film on the list. So you'll get to see those at the end, so stay tuned.
Thanks for that plug. So one of the things I was reading up about this movie that I thought was actually kind of cool, unfortunately I found it after the fact, not before, is the director whose name I just lost, Stanley Tong.
Stanley Tong, yep.
Is also a stunt person and
Yes.
wouldn't ask them to do anything that he wouldn't do himself. So the scene where Jackie Chan jumps across the alley onto the second floor,
Yeah, from the park,
the next floor platform, that's actually Stanley Tong doing that. Like, he's like, no, I wouldn't ask you to do that unless I do it. And he went and did it. And then they used his take instead of Jackie Chan's, from what I was reading online, because Jackie Chan's knees might not have held up quite as well to that. You look like you want to disagree with me.
Yeah, I don't know if that's true. I know Stanley Tong did do the stunt, but he did it with wire, like with a harness and wires. And
okay,
so he actually said, let's not do it with that because it actually makes it more dangerous. So then Jackie Chan did it without, as far as I've heard. I've heard the rumor that Stanley Tong was the one that did it, but as far as I've researched, it's not from a credible source.
Well, at the end of the film, they show the clip where Jackie jumps across, he lands, he gets back up, and he's like, "Yeah, I did it," and everybody's applauding him.
He's like dancing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair. I'd read that the director was going to use wires, and then before he did it, was like, no, this is going to make it more dangerous, took it off, and then went and did it. But just what I'm reading off IMDb, right?
Fair.
No insider knowledge.
We don't research these films, everybody. We just watch them.
I mean, I read IMDb. That's some level of research.
Yeah, it usually has a lot of good facts on there. It does. Yeah, no, but you are right. Stanley Tong was a stuntman as well and did a lot of stunts and would do the stunts beforehand to make sure it was safe for the actors.
Yeah.
That all checks out.
Most, if not all, this movie is filmed in Vancouver, British Columbia. Do you know if they hired just a lot of local talent? Because for Clean's Canadian Corner, is this just
Clean's Canadian Corner? It's Clean's Canadian Corner. I love it that you mentioned that, Dan. Yes, this is not filmed in the Bronx at all, as you can see. You know, the
mountains in the background.
In the background, in a lot of shots. And a lot of time was spent trying to not do that. And Jackie Chan was like, you know what? I don't care about that. Let's focus on the action and the movie. And so I think they kind of let that go in a lot of scenes, as you could see. But yes, Nancy, the main love interest, Tony's girlfriend, is Canadian actress Françoise Yip. And this was kind of her breakout role. She did a lot of Hong Kong movies afterwards and a few other big budget movies. I think Blade Trinity and things like that. She had roles in, but went back more into just the Vancouver TV, television scene. So she's done a lot of TV work in Vancouver and still does to this day. Tony, the big bad, gangster leader guy. I don't know if he's big or bad. Mark Ackerstream, I think his name is. Also a Canadian stuntman and actor. Unfortunately, a couple of years after this movie, he passed away in filming the Crow TV series. There was a stunt explosion happening. He wasn't even in the scene. He was just on set watching, and some debris hit him, and he passed away from those injuries. So unfortunate to hear that. And then Angelo, Garvin Cross, Angelo breaks his nose throughout, super funny, sometimes annoying, is still doing stunt and acting work, a lot of stunt driving specifically, but he's worked on Deadpool 2, The Revenant, Inception, Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol, etc. So very, very well established work from these people. Those were the main ones that I just because a lot of the stuntmen and smaller roles would have been Canadian as well, but those were the main roles that people had lines and things like that. And then there was Danny. I don't know if Danny Morgan Lamb was Canadian or not, but I do know he quit acting shortly after this movie. And that brings me to my next question. Brian, what did you think of the child acting in this movie?
It was so horrible. Oh my goodness. That kind of tanked the overall acting score for me. There were quite a few people in this that I thought were doing an abysmal job of acting, or maybe they were just going for that form of humor that doesn't appeal to me, I guess. But it was so silly, some of the stuff that they were saying and the way that they were acting. It kind of came off like high school play, but that kid was terrible. And of course, they're dubbing over English words, which makes it even that much worse. I'm sure there's some that's lost in translation. There was one time when he would gave a thumbs up and he was like, "You're a really cool dude," or something, and it didn't really jive with the conversation. I don't remember what he was saying. I just remember he was giving this weird thumbs up thing and being like, "You're my hero," or something. It didn't fit with the conversation at all. And the kids, it was just, did not like that kid one bit.
That kid was playing a Game Gear that didn't have a game in it. And I believed him the entire time. I believed he was playing a game. So I think he was doing a phenomenal job.
Right from the start, I looked over at my son and I go, "There's no cartridge in that console." I was like, "Yeah, I know. Why does he keep playing it?"
Yeah, absolutely.
It was just it's a small little blunder, but it's one of those that is such an easy fix. Like
100%.
duct tape, even some black electrical tape, and I'd be like, okay, maybe. But you can see the silver. Oh, anyways, I won't rag on it. It was one of those okay.
I mean, I do believe it's very rare that people are going to martial arts movies for the acting, but yes, it being dubbed and the acting in general is pretty shoddy in this. Now, it doesn't help that I think maybe if you watch the original, it would be better because everybody spoke in their native language. So anybody who spoke Chinese or Cantonese spoke that, English spoke English. French, whatever language, there was plenty of people with different languages, and then they dubbed it and just made it stereotypical, horrible voices, which was crazy to me. So I think if you watched it in the original voices, maybe the acting wouldn't seem as bad, but it is pretty amped up throughout this movie.
Essentially, this is the same thing they did with the Dollars trilogy, right? Everybody just speaks their own language and they just dub all of it in English.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of these people I presume, could speak English. I know that I saw Danny and Nancy were both English speaking, as well as I assume most of the white cast. Maybe that's on me for racial biases.
Right.
But they still felt dubbed. Even the English felt they dubbed over it.
Yeah, I believe it was because I think it originally was released in China and it was a huge success. And so they said, yeah, we will bring it over to America, but they dubbed it in China. So not all the original actors would have done the voices or any of that.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like when you watch an Asian film and they have Asian American or American Asians, people who are of American descent or English descent, but they're born or raised in China, and Chinese is their, or Mandarin or whatever is their native language, but they also, right? So, and you hear them talk, and they have they talk like they're John Wayne or something, and you're like, that's not how we talk.
Yeah,
right. Yeah, no,
so it's kind of that thing going on there.
Yeah, it was interesting because at the very beginning, he's with his uncle. They're speaking, I assume, Cantonese. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "How's your English?" "Oh, it's okay." And you're like, "All right, well, let's speak that then." And then they start speaking English. I'm like, "Oh, that was kind of a clever way to transition it and show off his English speaking." And then you're watching it for the first couple minutes, is he speaking?
It's still dubbed.
What is happening? That definitely took me aback a second. I was like, okay. Why even have that conversation? Why not just speak Cantonese? I don't know. And there's one time, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I am not the smartest person when it comes to this kind of thing, but he's talking to, I apologize, the woman who buys the grocery store.
Yeah, Elaine.
And she's freaking out. And he's like, "Why don't you just speak Chinese?" And I'm just sitting because there's no, Chinese isn't a language. That doesn't exist.
Yeah.
It's Mandarin or Cantonese. Why? Yeah. Jackie Chan would know that, but I feel like they did that so American audiences would know what they're talking about.
That sounds exactly right.
Speaking of the lady that buys the store, it felt like she was kind of swooning over Jackie Chan, and I was waiting for there to be some sort of a love interest, and then
I was too. Then
it goes for Nancy, who kicked him in the balls and almost got him murdered. And he's like, "Yeah, don't worry about it. I feel sorry for you and your son, so we're just gonna let this water under the bridge." Meanwhile, the store owner just gets bombarded with thugs blowing up her store, literally tearing it to pieces. She gets nothing out of the deal.
I was surprised how much she sticks with Kiang, considering how much she gets the short end of the stick. But from Kiang's perspective, I mean, if Francois Yip or if Nancy gave me any time of day, I'd probably pay a lot of attention to her too. I'm just going to
say. Plus, you know, her brother is pretty cool, right? So.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. Okay, so the gang in the beginning, I would say the first third of this movie is all about being bullied.
The Tony gang, yeah.
Yeah, the Tony gang. It's all about being bullied until they try to murder Jackie Chan in the alleyway by, batting bottles at him, which was kind of weird in itself, but whatever. So I was like, it was kind of weird how it's like silly and then suddenly it's not. And then you get introduced to like the mafia gang, like they're like the serious gang, and they're putting people into wood chippers. They're just shredding fools.
Oh, yeah.
Like it just ramps up so fast. And suddenly you're like, whoa, this isn't silly anymore. There's people getting just shredded.
Yeah.
Well,
we go from Jackie Chan in a onesie to a wood chipper real quick in this one.
Yeah. I think they really wanted to really amp up. Tony's gang is like bad, you know, they don't do good things, but this gang is bad, right? Like, they really needed to up the ante so that Tony would join the good side of the law.
All it took for Tony's gang to re-see their ways is Jackie Chan telling them they need to do better. They're not good role models. And I'm like, well, you're probably right. I don't feel like the gangsters would listen to that message quite as easily.
He had to also beat up like 40 of them all at once.
Sure, but still. They all turned a new leaf pretty quick.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like that was Will's moment of just like sincerity and honesty and wholesomeness when Jackie Chan gives that little monologue to the group about, you know, you could do better, you could be better kind of thing. And I was like, I bet Will appreciates.
We can be drinking tea together.
Is he serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like immediately they get the opportunity to join forces after that, and then it's, you know, where it's no longer Godzilla versus King Kong. They're working together to be the Mecha Godzilla now, you know. So you know, they always kind of do that. So that was okay with me. I think that this plot had a ton of holes in it. There were so many things that just did not make sense at all, and it was like that. Why would you even do that? But I still had a lot of fun watching this, even with the bad acting, the horrible dubbed over dialogue, the dialogue that was really not good to begin with. But the wholesomeness of the film kind of was heartwarming, and the choreography and stunts were amazing. Back in the day, too. I mean, this is amazing by today's standards. The choreography of the fight scenes was incredible. You know, really good stuff. I would say maybe not on par with stuff like John Wick, but pretty darn close. Like this could, you know, at least hold a candle to stuff like The Matrix. I was really impressed with this choreography. Also, long takes. Like you could watch like a full 2 minutes of action sequences before they change a camera angle. That's hard to do. To have that long stretch of a fight scene without screwing anything up, that's very impressive to me. That was incredible to watch. Then the stunts, jumping off of buildings, jumping onto the hovercraft, going underneath the hovercraft. All the stuff with the hovercraft was pretty cool. Bouncing people off of it into the trees and stuff. Really top-notch action sequences, choreography, and stunts. That was kind of the shining star for me of this film.
I don't disagree with that. Dan, please tell us what you feel about those aspects of the movie. Was there anything you liked, Dan?
I appreciate you so much, Will. I don't know. Maybe I'm just absolutely spoiled by nonsensical movies that are more high octane than this. I can appreciate practical effects. I can appreciate the practicality of what they're doing. I can appreciate Jackie Chan and whatnot doing his own stunts. It all felt more Looney Tunes than cool to me. Like the way that they're doing the fights, the way that things are happening, it felt, and I'm guessing this is Will's brand of comedy, so it probably works so much better for him than it does for me. In a kung fu movie, like I'm picturing something like, I have not seen much kung fu. You nailed it on that one. Something like IP Man. Denny, frick, I forgot his name. Denny Young, Denny, whatever. The lead character is cool in that movie as he's kicking ass. And in this one, like as wholesome as Jackie Chan is, you never really get a good sense of why he's doing a lot of what he's doing or what's going on, or I don't know. They took something out of this movie, which is in the Hong Kong release of this. He's a police officer in Hong Kong.
Police officer, yeah.
Which makes a lot more sense why he's doing some of the things that he's doing in this film. But when he's just a tourist in New York, it's kind of like, that's weird. And at one point, he even tries to like go for a badge to be like, stop, police. And I thought he was faking them out, but that's probably his instinct kicking in. He's seeing a woman being sexually assaulted, and he's actually like reaching for his badge and his gun and realizing like, oh shoot, I'm not prepared for this.
I didn't know that. I thought that was him trying to psych the guy out and make him think he was going for a gun or something like that.
That's how they play it off, but I'm assuming that's what's actually the undertones in the quote unquote the full version of this movie.
Yeah. It also makes you realize, why would the police ever let him drive that hovercraft at the end of the movie?
Yeah, because like that blew me away when they're
law
just like
enforcement. That makes it still doesn't make sense.
It still doesn't make sense. Especially like, drive through the city onto the golf court to run this guy over, not even arrest him, and then the movie just ends. And I'm like,
after they duct tape it together, it's so funny. It's so funny. Oh,
18 rolls of duct tape. And then they run the guy over and it shreds his clothes off, just his bare scraped up ass hanging out.
Yeah. I like that it did. Okay, granted, it's on sand versus on concrete versus on grass, but it runs over Jackie Chan, no issues whatsoever. It runs over the car, sands every portion of that top of the car down to the bare metal, runs over the guy and like clean shaves him and scratches him up and whatnot, tears all of his clothes off. You're just like, this hovercraft's really really all over the place.
You're not wrong, Dan. I do appreciate Jackie Chan's, and that's what sets Jackie Chan apart, right? Is that he's willing to put in the comedic elements that make the movie seem like it's a rated R movie, because they're putting guys through wood chippers and he's bleeding to death in an alleyway, but he still overall makes it feel like a pretty lighthearted movie, and the action is like physically amazing to watch. And on top of that, they add comedic elements throughout it, and it's just like so interesting to me that, and I don't see that. And you're right, IP Man isn't like that, which is Donnie Yen, somebody in chat, thank you very much. And I think he wanted to separate himself away from Bruce Lee originally, because Bruce Lee was the coolest person in the room and the most deadly, and that's awesome. Jackie Chan wanted to be his own thing, and I think he found that and nails it, not only in this movie, but in a lot of movies he does
in his career. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I can appreciate that. I can. I just,
whether it does it for you or not, that's a whole nother story.
That's just it. Like, even as we were watching this, I'm like, I can almost guarantee Will thinks this is hilarious, just based off of the other movies we've seen and the way you've talked about other scenes in movies.
Right.
But like when he's upstairs talking to Elaine, is it?
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes downstairs, and somehow silently they have chained up every aspect of the supermarket to one vehicle without either one of them noticing. And he's just looking around and like, I should go and get her out of the bathroom. And she's like, I don't want to talk to you. He's like, no, we should really talk right now. And then the entire superstore just comes crumbling down. And she's just sitting there on the toilet, just like, I hate you.
I thought that scene was hilarious. It was incredibly stupid, but I was laughing at just the stupidity of it. It reminded me of several different scenes from different movies, them just being on the different floors, the water constantly pouring down on Jackie Chan. And at the end, the camera pans out. And if Jackie would just walk 2 steps to his right, he wouldn't be being rained on, but he stands there under the dripping water the whole time. And then like he falls in the chair and the chair falls off. Then he falls on the couch and, he's thinking the couch is going to fall off the ledge and stuff. There was a bunch of just little fun things in that whole sequence. Not to mention just seeing them pull the whole building down was cool. None of it making any sense or being realistic whatsoever. But it was fun. It was fun.
And you have to, again, this is like, I don't know. I watched this when it came out, and I was like 11 or 12 years old, right? And so young Will was just enamored, by, and I wanted to be an action hero. I would play with my friends, and we were, the good cops who were taking down the gangs. And watching Jackie Chan take the physicality to like the next level, like compared to things like, the 80s movies like Bloodsport and things like that. It's like a whole nother level of physical prowess. And I couldn't get enough of that. I just couldn't. I couldn't. And so it remains very near and dear to my heart. Again, not saying it's the best movie I've ever seen. And it's not even the best Jackie Chan movie I've ever seen. I think the stunt work and martial arts, well, maybe not the stunt work as much, but maybe both actually took a hit because this was filmed in Canada, where there's much stricter laws and you can't just do anything you want. And he had to train a lot of the stuntmen, and in the fights, it took like 22 days for him to choreograph the warehouse scene with the gang fight. And because he had to teach everybody how to do it, how to fight Hong Kong style, because it's very different than anything in Hollywood or, being filmed in North America. So I think he did a great job, and he actually went and bought everything for that warehouse to choreograph with. And I think you can see the detail in how he's using the fridges, how he's moving the pieces, and all the close calls and just rolling over things. It's just like so intricate that you just want to watch it again and again. You're like, it's so fast, but it's all one take. But it's so, I think it's so rewatchable for that reason.
And it's smooth too. A lot of times you'll see the choreographing, and if you watch the other guy is telegraphing his punches, is waiting for his cue to swing or dodge or whatever. And in this, everything is just fast, smooth. No one's waiting for anything. It's happening. It looks real, like they're really going for him, and he really moves the refrigerator door just in time. There was, the scene when he dives into the sunroof of the car and the motorcycle misses running over his crotch by like inches. And it wasn't like that motorcyclist was like stalling and waiting. They were full throttle going. Like if he screwed that up, Jackie Chan's going to be wearing more than a cast. Like it's crazy. Like so that's why I really liked it, because those fight sequences, long takes, real smooth, didn't look stupid, didn't look fake, looked like they were really going after it. So I appreciate the action in this film. And then there's Dan.
No, I was trying to think of two different things, because like you were like, oh well, they're so much stricter in Canada, you can't just get away with anything. I'm like, they drove a hovercraft around the city, like they can get away with a bit.
I just mean like as far as like what, because this is a well-known thing as well. Jackie Chan has his own stunt crew. He's got his own stunt school. He trains a bunch of people for stunt work, but they can't get insured, especially not in Hollywood. He has to pay out of pocket for any hospital bills and things like that. It like is super expensive if people get hurt, he has to take care of them. But in China, they don't have the same regulations, or they didn't. They might be changing now, of course, but they don't have the same regulations in place. And so people could do way wilder things and attempt way wilder things than you see in this movie even. And it does make, I think, for better action sequences in other Jackie Chan movies. Not to say that I don't love these ones, because it was, again, the first time I saw it, but I think there are better action sequences and stunts in some of his other pictures.
And that's the other point that I was going to touch on, is you make a good point where not only your age, but also the fact that this is maybe like your first introduction to it makes a huge difference, because it will open your eyes to a whole potential genre or a whole different way of looking at things. One of the movie franchises that we have not touched on yet, and I'm terrified if we ever do, is the Clerks franchise. I know that Brian has not seen it, and quite frankly, I have no idea if it's going to hold up from 1994 to 2026 or 2027, whenever we end up getting around to it. It's a franchise that is near and dear to my heart, but again, it's not perfect. It's not even close. But I watched it at a time when it hit me in a really special way. And it's not even one that I go back to all that often, but it still holds a very special place in my heart.
It lives in your mind.
Exactly. And it will be, and I don't want to impact your scores. I want you guys to be honest if we ever do get to that. But like, it'll be hard to sit through that if you guys are both just like, wow, did you see this part? So dumb. And I'll just be like, yeah, but I still love it.
That's the beauty. So like, that's the beauty of Rumble in the Bronx. I know it's dumb. It's obvious. But I still love what I love about it because of when I experienced it, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And I wanted to pick a different martial arts movie called Ong Bak, but it is technically part of a trilogy because they made a second and third one. I watched the second one. It was so bad I never even watched the third one. So I was like, well, I want to pick it for this, but because it's a franchise, I can't. Oh, but it's such a good movie.
Technically do it at some point.
The first one's so good. We could technically do it, and I'll suffer through all three if I get to watch the first one with y'all because it is so good. So good.
Fair.
Dan'll hate it.
Is Ong Bak, is that the comedy?
No.
I mean, no, not really. Tony Jaa, it's like Thai kickboxing.
What was the like ridiculous one with like the nunchuck squirrel?
Oh, that's
Nunchuck squirrel?
Is that Kung Fu Hustle or something?
I don't know.
No,
I thought the name would pop if I heard it. Kung Pao.
Kung Pao. There we go. Yeah. I knew it was one of those. Anyway, it's not.
I thought that was a chicken.
I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm not 100% sure. I never saw it. So I saw the ad and was like, I'm good.
I'm good. Yeah. No, it's not like that. But although Tony Jaa, again, was inspired, he's younger. So he was inspired by Jackie Chan and then all the others. So he does infuse some humor into his stuff as well.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway. What else can we say about this beauty of a movie?
I enjoyed the hovercraft scenes a lot. Just them running a hovercraft up and down the street, bouncing it off of cars. Jackie Chan with that ridiculous, stupid sword and the Lamborghini that he drives and slices it open.
Super funny.
The duct tape. Yeah, it's like a giant can opener. Then he uses the duct tape to patch it back up, which was just ridiculous and fun. I thought that's why I got it in the background here because I enjoyed the hovercraft scenes.
Yeah,
so it was interesting to. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, please.
It was interesting to see because it was one of those things where, like, I feel like hovercrafts were such a cool thing in like the 80s and 90s. They were in like cartoons like Mask, G.I. Joe, Transformers. And it was like, this is awesome. And I saw it in the movie and I'm like, I forgot those existed. Like, I haven't seen or heard of one in so long. And I'm like, do they still exist? Or was it one of those things that like the technology just outgrew it so quickly? I have no idea.
Yeah,
but it was just one of those like, okay, it is pretty fun to see, and to see that it's just like a ferry essentially for like tourists.
Yeah, exactly.
I think they've replaced it with those hydroplaning boats that come up on the fins and skate across the top of the water now.
Oh, that could be for sure.
But those don't go on land, so I don't know. I don't know how hovercrafts do.
Yeah,
maybe everything's a drone now or something.
Again, it was the first time I ever saw an action sequence with a hovercraft. First and only time, mind you. So I thought it was pretty bold and pretty fun in that aspect. We did mention that Jackie Chan broke his ankle while on that and had to work for the rest of the movie. I saw an interview with him, I think it was with Conan. And he's like, yeah, we had to film me running, but I couldn't run on this ankle. So I would just put my knee on the wheelchair and just fake it up on the camera like this, like I was running. And he's just like, you know what? They're doing whatever he can to make this movie still go, right? With the injury and everything. So I just
those are some of the best stories in cinema. You hear about movies like Ghostbusters that almost didn't make it, and they were just doing anything they could to get the film out, and it turns into a wonderful film because. And this is my theory, I guess, is because somebody loves making that movie. It's their passion project. This was Jackie Chan's thing that he really wanted to do. He was going to make it happen no matter what. And the heart and soul that goes into those type of movies ends up becoming something beloved, even if it's maybe not the most top tier quality film. It still holds a place in somebody's heart, for sure in Will's.
Yeah. it was interesting seeing the hovercraft scene where Jackie Chan is like kind of going from the sailboat onto the bridge and then jumps onto it where he breaks his ankle. Because watching that in the movie, it looked like a really dramatic jump, and I'm like, that looked like it was like 4 feet. Like you jumped across buildings earlier, and you're like, this seems pretty small for that. And then you see after the fact, like, oh, he broke his ankle doing it. It's like, oh, that's why he landed. Like, okay, that makes way more sense. I actually think now that my cards are all on the table, the end credits behind the scenes, like
The outtakes.
easily my favorite part of the movie. That was like, oh, I could watch a lot more of this. Like I would watch a lot more of them making this movie than I want to watch the movie.
The movie itself.
Oh, that woman who face planted off the motorcycle. Oh, that was brutal.
Yeah, there was like 3 or 4 people who broke legs and bones throughout the movie. Like you can see they carted away 2 or 3 people into the ambulance. But the idea of Jackie Chan doing the outtakes, which he does with a lot of his movies, came from when he was in the Cannonball Run, which was one of his attempts to break out into the Hollywood pictures. He had a small role in that and the second one. But the director, what was his name? Can't remember here. I can't remember his name. He was a stuntman as well. And in his movies, he would put an outtake at the end of his credits because he was filming all these stunts and all these cool things. He had all this extra footage. He wanted to make sure people could see it, so he'd throw it at the end. And so Jackie Chan, when he saw the Cannonball Run, he saw that and he's like, boom, I'm gonna start doing that. I have all this extra footage. I think it's really cool. And so he's been doing that for many, many years since, like from the early 80s. So I thought that was a really cool thing that he picked up from a fellow stuntman director that he, worked under, and how that, how that grows organically, and you grab that creativity from others and make it your own.
I mean, it makes sense. It was, as I said, like my favorite part of the film. I'm not saying that to try and be rude or anything, but like seeing the behind the scenes of how it all worked and everything was really cool. And like the scene Brian was talking about with where he jumps into the moonroof of the car, the sunroof of the car, and the bike goes over top of him. And he gets out and he's like so excited that he didn't get hurt. He's like running up and like hugging the driver of the motorcycle, like, we did it. Thank you so much. Like that was fun. I enjoyed that part of it. And like, again, seeing the shoe boot that went over his cast, so he could still look like he's wearing shoes and whatnot. I was like, that's clever. I like that.
It retroactively makes you enjoy the movie a little bit more. It just to know what they went through to film it, it becomes impressive, and you just appreciate it more, seeing how hard they worked for it.
Yeah, I think there's also something. There's also something to be said of like, you see a couple of the outtakes where somebody actually connects one of their hits and they're like immediately like stop everything, make sure everybody's okay. You see that camaraderie in making this, and like how invested and how like kind and caring everybody actually is. It's just like such an interesting switch from what you see in the movie itself, what they're presenting and how it actually is coming together. It's super fun. And I mean, I love that stuff too. Coming from theater and producing my own shows, I get to experience all that, and it is super fun to be able to share some of those bits with your audience, for sure.
Yeah. Do you guys have anything more to add, or are we good to?
I think my only last thing to add is I know you guys are slightly older than me, but I think it still applies. This movie came out in 95 in Hong Kong and 96 in North America. Jackie Chan was 41 years old when he filmed this movie.
Wow.
I am now 41 years old, and I cannot, nor will I ever be able to ever move like he moved at that age. And it makes me so jealous.
I could move like that 40. At any age.
Yeah, he doesn't look that age. He does look maybe older than he should be in the movie, especially, when he's hooking up with Nancy, but he moves like a gazelle. It is impressive. It is impressive.
When he's working that post, I don't know what you call that kung fu post that they practice on.
The dummy post or whatever.
Yeah, when he's doing that and they're building up the music as he goes faster and faster and faster, that was impressive all on its own. And then to find out that he's in his 40s doing that, wow.
Yeah, honestly, at any age, like the speed he was going at was crazy. And that's like it's a training dummy. He's probably used that thing hundreds, if not thousands of times.
Yeah, 100%.
But it's still one of those things, like you can watch that anybody do that, like a speed bag or something like that. Like when you watch somebody who's good at what they do, it's mesmerizing. And Jackie Chan is very good at what he does.
Very good.
Yep. Well said.
I will say, as much as some of the comedy did not work for me in this movie, there's a couple scenes with Danny specifically that I did kind of chuckle out loud at. I don't know if I was supposed to or not, but when he's trying to like sell his sister to Jackie Chan, he's like, "Oh, you'd like her. She's very pretty. Model. You like her. Very pretty." I'm like, ew.
And then when she comes out later, she's crying. She's like, "See, she's very pretty." Well, not right now.
Not right now. That was one of two moments that I legit laughed out loud.
My other part right where I always burst out laughing is when they come back and get the diamonds for the thugs, and then Jackie gets the gun on him, and he like hits the guy with the gun. He's like, "Ugh." And then Danny throws him a helmet, hits him. He's like, "Oh, it's so bad." And then he gets the freaking pipe wrench from Danny.
From God knows where.
Where? It's just so funny though, because nobody's gonna take a pipe wrench hit, and that guy knows it, so he's like,
instantly backs down.
It's just such a that's absurd humor, and it's not always at that level in this movie, but that for some reason was just so funny to me.
And I think maybe that's why it worked for me, because it was so absurdist, whereas everything else is kind of like towing the line of like, am I supposed to be believing this, or am I supposed to know that this is really dumb right now? Whereas that was like, oh no, this is really dumb right now. And I did appreciate that moment for sure. That was the other one I was going to bring up.
I certainly didn't believe those guys when they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "Oh, we're the FBI." And then they just go about their business. No card, no badge, nothing. We're the FBI. And he's like, "Yeah, okay, yeah, I totally believe you."
But then he calls them.
Yeah.
He's like, "No, I'm an in at the FBI. It'll be okay." I'm like, "Oh, he's actually dumb." And if he's supposed to be a police officer, you would know better. But okay,
that's what they call a plot device.
Yeah. Okay, now I do have a question about something that I don't fully understand. Sure. When you first meet the gang members, I guess, that are selling the diamonds to the gangsters, right? That seems to be going okay. And then it cuts to Jackie Chan, and all of a sudden the car is whipping around the corner and gets into a car accident.
It goes
and then
south.
You see all the guys are hurt.
Yeah,
did the deal go south, or did the car accident hurt those guys?
I think the deal went south. But again, it's super ambiguous.
Yeah. Because the rest of the movie, we're dealing with this like small little hometown, like, bullying thing. And then all of a sudden it's like hard left into like massive gangsters and diamond heist and whatnot. I'm just like, what happened?
Why is it in these mobster drug deal movies, why is it they always have to move all of the product in one big bunch to this new salesperson? They're like, these are the only people that can handle this much weight, and they're going to move all of it. Why not just go, hey, I got a lot of diamonds. Let's start out with like 10 of them, see how that goes. If business goes well, we'll sell you another 10. And nobody has to put up a lot of money or a lot of diamonds at once. I mean, you don't have a movie, but...
And you're less likely to kill me because you want the next 10 diamonds.
Yes, exactly, right? Why not? Why would you not do that? Do it in installments, man.
I can sum that up in one word. Greed, okay? Nobody's got time for that. You want to go hit your next score, man. You want to dump this hot diamonds because then you can't get caught with it. You want to take your money and run until your next heist. That's it. That's all.
Well, and even one
everybody
step
wants
further,
to move quantity.
Why don't they just let the deal go through? Like, nobody dies, nobody alerts the cops, nobody goes to jail. It's just like, I want those diamonds. This is a fair price. Here's the money, and we all live happily ever after. And the rest of the movie doesn't happen. But of course, you have to try and get the double dip.
And there's opportunity for repeat business. But if you murder the other guy, that's the last deal you're gonna do.
Yeah, for sure.
Who knows?
All right, we good?
Yeah, let's rate this.
I think so.
All right. If you like what we do and you want to help support us, consider joining our Patreon. There's a link down below. Huge shout out to our producers, as well as our executive producers, Real Bubba Hotep and Dino, and of course, our head writers, Elder JM990 and Miss Hillary. Thank you all so much for your support. Get off the screen. There we go. Fitting that we'll leave Will to the end, so we'll go with you, Brian.
Okay. All right. I gave this movie a 64. There were a lot of things wrong with it, a lot of things that I didn't like, but there were some really cool things that I did enjoy. A lot of work went into this film, a lot of heart and soul, and things that made it fun for me. The fun factor was way high on this. The effects and the direction got some high points too. Acting, plot, dialogue, sound effects, lots of those things. Lots of technical issues with this that brought it down. But overall, it was a decent enough film. Probably not something I'm going to return to. I think there's lots of other martial arts movies I would rather see. My time is limited, so a 64 score isn't going to be a movie I'm ever probably going to return to. But nonetheless, did have some real highlights that if you're a fan of martial arts films or a Jackie Chan fan, then you should definitely check this one out.
Okay.
Let's go, Daniel the Manual.
I thought you were on my side, Brian.
I know there's issues. I know.
Rake it over the coals, Dave.
Will, I love you so much, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for doing this show with me. Okay. Unlike Brian, the fun fact for this one did not carry it for me. I think if I'm being honest with myself and I'm actually ranking this movie the way that I feel like I should, and I'm not trying to appease Will or appease Brian and Will based off of what they're going to score it as, I have to say the acting in this is really atrociously bad. Just from almost everybody, it's just painful to sit through. The fact that they dubbed it and then apparently redubbed it didn't really help in that scenario. The sound quality in this isn't great, but it's not a huge stepping point. The cinematography, I will give some decent points to. The hovercraft scene was a lot of fun. The actual coordination in the stunts and whatnot, and the fact they were all practically done, really cool. I will give props to that. And if I ever do go back to this one, I am going to pay a lot more attention to the fact of how long the scenes are going for. That was something I wasn't paying attention to. So if they're doing these highly choreographed scenes and they are maybe not one taking them, but stretching them out as opposed to what we see now with movies like Taken and John Wick, where it's cut to try and make it look cool, that would increase that. But I wasn't paying attention to that, unfortunately, in this one. The plot, nonsensical, just silly from the beginning to the end. And one of the things that really just didn't hurt me with this one is the humor in it, for the most part, didn't land with me. But even more than that, the kung fu of it, which should have been super cool, also just felt cartoony and kind of Looney Tunes-ish. Like, half the time I didn't really understand what I was watching or what I'm supposed to be feeling these times. Like, is Jackie Chan a complete badass, or is he kind of a dork who's getting away with some of this stuff? I'm not 100% sure where you're supposed to land on that one. I didn't enjoy this movie in any capacity. I can appreciate the filmography that went into it, but for me, this is an incredibly low score. This one's going to be a 38 for me.
Whoa!
I'm sorry, Will. I just did not enjoy any of this.
Totally fine.
Oh, wow. That score went underneath the hovercraft.
I was sitting there. I'm like, is this? No, never mind.
This is how it goes when you bring your heart and soul to a group of people who just cannot accept greatness. No, I'm just kidding. I knew this was going to be hit and miss with people. I mean, it's not everybody's genre. It's not everybody's comedic style. It's not for everybody. But in my mind, it was the breakout for Jackie Chan into Hollywood. It was the breakout for kung fu movies to see the world stage as a whole. Before Jackie Chan, and don't get me wrong, Bruce Lee is an amazing talent. Jet Li is an amazing talent. Martial arts wise, they are far and above Jackie Chan, but Jackie Chan has this entertainer element that just carries through so much more than those other great martial artists. that he's stood the test of time after this. He tried 4 different films Hollywood's way, trying to break into the Hollywood scene, and then eventually he said, I'm going to do it myself, and he did on the first try. And it was one of the largest openings in China at the time, and it was the opening box office smash hit when it opened in North America. Not that it would made a lot of money overall, but being the top opening movie, nothing to shake a finger at. So it's just one of those things that I've talked about before. It's one of these passion projects, and when you can see that passion, I really gravitate towards that. Not to mention, I've always been into the physicality of people and what they can accomplish with their training and determination is just like crazy to me. And I will always be a fan of martial arts movies specifically for that, especially like Asian, because you can see the hard work and the blood. You can literally see the blood, sweat, and tears that go into making these movies. Not for everyone. I understand that. Is it the best movie? No. My ranking is 72 out of 100. It's not the best picture. We've ragged on the acting. We ragged on the dubbing. We didn't even rag on the sound that much, but you can see that the band playing in the nightclub isn't playing the music your ears are hearing. Like, it's not even close. But it was so amazing for 11-year-old Will that I will always love this movie. I will watch this movie at least once a year, probably till my dying days, which will probably be well before Jackie Chan dies, which I'm happy about that because I can keep watching his movies.
I think Dan's muted.
You're muted, Dan.
Nicely said. And I'm so sorry.
You don't have to be sorry. I knew you weren't a huge martial arts movie guy. And I knew that this one is like different because it's Jackie Chan very, 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 very rarely plays I'm the baddest ass in the room. He's much more of I'm a humble guy and I get myself into crazy situations and I have to get my way out of them in creative ways.
Yeah,
That's
he played a Boy Scout for sure in this.
And I just gravitate towards that. I prefer that over I'm the baddest ass in the room because I'll never be the baddest ass in the room, but I'd love to be the guy who creatively makes his way out of it.
Yeah.
I think I would have been okay with him being the humble, bumbling guy when he's talking to Nancy or when he's talking to Elaine or when he's working in the grocery store, like looking in the mirror and making muscly arms at himself.
Yeah. Squeezes
but
this.
Then like push comes to shove and it's time to go down. And he's like, no, I know what I am. Like, I get this. I don't know.
Which he does at the warehouse somewhat. Like he does take on the whole gang just in his own weird action way. Right.
Let's not get it twisted. Like, he's incredible. Like what he's doing, like you mentioned, like you can never move like him. I'll never move a tenth of what he does.
Right.
And like there are some really cool scenes in this, like when he traps the guy's arms with his jacket and is just like elbowing him from behind. I'm like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
It's a little thing. Like that's not even like a big bombastic moment, but it's just like this, like, cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I think it's awesome that we have such a wide spread of scores on this one. I kind of hate it when we all come in within 5 points of each other. And usually in franchises, we're going to be pretty similar on a lot of them, especially the first movie, because you don't make a franchise off of a bad film. So we're going to come in high on the opening of a franchise film. And so I'm stoked that we have the Patreon picks and now March Madness so that we can throw out movies like this where we're going to have a wide response to it. So I'm glad Dan's number is way low. And I'm glad that Will's number was higher than mine because I would hate if 64 was the highest one for this film.
When I brought it to the table, yeah.
I was a little bit nervous. Like I was kind of making the poster in the background while Will was talking. And I was like, Will has mentioned that he knows this isn't the greatest movie ever. He said this quite a bit. Is Brian going to be the high one on this? Like I'd already made you the white number and I had Will as the green, but I was just kind of sitting there like 64's not super low. Like it's possible. But all right, let's jump over here and replace.
Oh, it's gonna be in last place. Oh my, Dan.
And with that, we have Rumble in the Bronx coming in with a score of 38,
Oh!
64, 72, putting it at the bottom of the Patreon pick list at 58. I cannot apologize enough, Will. And honestly, I am terrified for next week because I am leaning really hard towards one movie choice, and it's going to be polarizing as well. I feel like I owe that to you guys after this one to give you a chance to kind of hit back at something that I really love. So,
well, again, Dan, no harm, no foul, man. It's not your type of movie, and I knew that going in. I expected you were going to have the lowest score. Am I thrilled that it's at the bottom of this list? No, because I love the movie, but and I would much rather. I scored Romeo and Juliet higher than I scored Rumble in the Bronx, but I will watch Rumble in the Bronx 100 times before I ever watch Romeo and Juliet again. Like it just is what it is.
Sorry, I'm going to interrupt you there really quickly just because there's a time limit here. There is a new giveaway in chat. Somebody has just gifted a R rating spider meme t-shirt to the chat. Anybody who wants to join in, make sure you hit join to win. Not an exclamation mark join, just join. Get yourself in there. I think you might have to be in my chat. I don't know 100% how that's going to work. So if you are watching from Brian's, maybe you can hit join, but just to be safe, come on over to my channel for a second, hit join, and then go back to Brian's channel. That's totally fine. I don't know 100% how it's going to work there. Most likely that came from Omega Man. Appreciate you. It does say anonymous, so I'm not 100% on that one, but he's usually the one giving out gifts and t-shirts. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate that. And that is the design of the three of us kind of pointing at each other like the Spider-Man meme that a friend of mine drew for us. I have the shirt. I really like it. One of you is going to have it after this. It is me, Omega Man. Omega Man, you're the goddamn best. Thank you so much, friend.
Thank you, Omega Man.
D. Marin for the subscribe. Thank you so much. Subscribed for 23 months at tier 1. They've been subscribed for 25 months total. Over 2 years of Dan. That's ridiculous. And that
I can only handle.
He's also Dan.
I can only handle Dan once a week. I don't know what you guys are doing. That's crazy.
It's crazy. All right, sorry. I didn't want to get that out because it is like in 180 seconds, and I didn't want that to go away before I acknowledged it. But sorry, Will, I didn't want to cut you off. I tried to leave it off as close to an end point there as possible.
No, that worked fine. That worked perfectly. I just have to tank your next. No, I'm not going to tank anything.
So hey, it's my first white score.
Attaboy.
I know. Finally got one on the board there.
Yeah.
First time I was in the middle.
Look at you.
Good job.
No longer extremist.
I don't think it's case sensitive. Okay, so I had a couple of movies that I could do for next week. Ones that I truly love. I didn't pick anything that I wouldn't get. That doesn't mean something to me on some level. I am down to, I think, 2 after this conversation.
Dan, if you want, I've settled on 1. If you want me to go and you can spend another week thinking about it.
Agonizing on it.
It's fine. I don't mind. I mean, if you...
I'm going to go with Primer because neither of you have seen it, and I don't see another opportunity to make you guys watch it. So I'm just going to go with Primer. I haven't seen it in a while, and so it's something I'm going to watch. We can either do that this coming week, or if Dan ever can whittle it down to just one movie, then we can watch whatever it is he has in store for us. What are your 2 choices?
Okay. First, D. Marin, congratulations on the t-shirt. That's awesome. Make sure you hit the link to go and actually claim it. What are my 2 choices? I've got it down, especially, you know what? Because you nailed Primer and you're like, that's the movie that neither of us have ever seen. I'm pretty sure you mentioned at the beginning you'd only seen half of Rumble in the Bronx. I'd never seen it. I'm going to go with the one movie that I know neither of you have seen because I've brought it up a bunch and you always look at me blankly. We're going to do Sing Street for my movie when it gets to there. This is going to be Brian's absolute kryptonite because it is a child-led movie and it's a musical. Fuck yourself. I love this one. It's so good.
Oh, man. Hey, Jackie Chan.
I got you in this one, Will. I'm going to tank the shit out of this.
I'm certain you will. And it won't even be revenge. It will just be, I just legitimately chose something that I don't, I think you'll enjoy. No, I don't think it'll be a painful sit through for you. But I'm not expecting you to be like, wow, Dan, you opened my eyes. I really like child acting in musicals now.
Sing Street. Okay.
I don't think it's available anywhere. I own the Blu-ray. I will be doing a watch party for that one. So Brian, if you are going to do next week, I will do the week after that. I will absolutely have a watch party. And because it's not technically attached to the Patreon, I can even do that in a free channel. So because I know it's not available anywhere, it's not on any streaming service. It's a little movie out of England. It's a little indie film. Anybody who wants to join us for that, I will have a chat up there. You can join our Discord by hitting ! No, you can't. I'll put a link somewhere so you can join the R rating Discord. I'll do it there as opposed to in the Coalition, but it'll be a free watch along for anybody who wants to join me on that one. Not this Sunday, but the Sunday after that.
Okay.
Dan
Well,
just
this
trying
Sunday,
to get the masses to watch this movie.
Well, because I know most people will be
Primer.
like, I don't know what this is. So
Yeah,
if
fair.
we can at least get some amount of the audience to watch this, because this is not the other one I was thinking about was like the other one of the two was A Few Good Men. Absolutely adore that movie. It's an Aaron Sorkin. It's Jack Nicholson and Tom Cruise both like just putting on incredible performances. It's hugely nostalgic because it's something I used to watch with my dad all the time.
It's a great play.
The movie means a ton to me on top of just being a top tier film.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty confident both of you have seen it.
Actually, I have not seen A Few Good Men.
Really?
I've not seen it. Nope. It's on my list of things to watch. Haven't gotten around to it. I know it's a huge popular film. For whatever reason, that's one that slipped through the cracks. I think one time I tried to watch it, and I ended up watching An Officer and a Gentleman instead.
Very different
bad
film.
choice. That's a bad choice.
I would thoroughly like. I'll stick to Sing Street for the March Movie Madness. But if you're willing, I would happily do a watch along with that movie with you and anybody who wants to join us because it is so good. It'll be hard to be muted, but we have chat to talk and type and text back and forth. I know you know and like Aaron Sorkin. This is it's his first film, but it was also a stage play that he wrote that is what actually got him noticed, and then he was able to make his Hollywood career kind of go from there. I'm listening to another podcast about it, and that's kind of what got me to seriously consider it as one of my two picks. And it's I can't say enough good things, but that's not what we're talking about. We're gonna do Primer next week. And you mentioned I sort of talked over you.
I'll host it. Yeah, I'll host it on Sunday. That'll be 7 Central, 8 Eastern. I'll host that. I think we have a time change coming up on Sunday, the 8th or something like that. Coming soon. We're going to be losing an hour. So I don't know what that does with your guys' schedule, but at 7 Central on Sunday, I will be hosting Primer in the watch party. So anybody who has access to that channel can come check it out. It is an indie film. It is incredibly low budget film with lots of narrative that moves the story along. And it is very challenging to follow the timeline because it is a movie about time travel and it gets very complicated very fast. So it's one that you really want to be paying attention to. So come check it out. I've watched that movie at least a dozen times, and every time I'm noticing new stuff in it and figuring things out and trying. The first couple of times I watched it, I just didn't even understand it. It was too complicated.
So it'll be really interesting for me watching it once, trying to do a review of it.
Well, like the first time I wasn't really paying attention to it, but I was like, that was a cool time travel movie. I just didn't get what was going on a couple of times. And then I rewatched it so I could understand that. Here I have you guys to ask questions when I miss something, so I don't bother rewatching.
This time we can ask you the questions. It'll be
I was just going to say, this is going to be your movie, so you're going to be leading the discussion to some extent.
Yep.
All right. Let's do this real quick. All right, so that's our rating of Rumble in the Bronx. Again, this is a March Movie Madness picture. This is different than what we normally do, but it was fun to see something that is not part of a franchise, something we don't have to review the next 2, 3, 4, 5 parts of. Just a one-off, really cool to see. Can't wait to do Primer next week with Brian, so that'll be a lot of fun. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe so that we see you in the next one. It's a little rushed, but whatever.
See you in the next one.
All right, for anybody who missed it, because apparently there were some ads there, we are going to do Primer next week with a watch party on Sunday, and then Sing Street the week after that, again with a watch party. And then I believe the last week, the Patreon pick this month is American Beauty, and we'll be doing a watch party for that. So
American
lots of watch parties coming up.
That's the one with the
Kevin
flying
Spacey.
bag?
Yeah.
And the flying, okay.
I believe that's what
like
they
that
picked.
movie. I really like that movie.
I haven't seen it since like 98 or 99 or whenever it came out. I've seen
Yeah,
it
it's been a
one
while for me
time, so-
too. So see how it holds up. That'll be a factor for sure.
For sure. Can we rag on Miss Hillary's favorite movies 3 times in a row? How long before she just gives up on us? We'll see.
Yeah.
Will, what do you got going on these days? I have seen you. I've been lurking in some of your streams, but not catching a lot of anybody's stuff lately.
Yeah. I've been playing a lot of Arc Raiders. The expedition just happened, so I've been re-gearing up and doing all that jazz. But tomorrow is Friends Friday, and there's a couple demos I'm going to be trying out. One is John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, which is being touted as like a 4-player co-op similar to the likes of Left 4 Dead. And if I could just get another game as good as Left 4 Dead, I would.
Is Toxic Commando, is that centered around a vehicle that you guys drive around a lot?
I haven't actually looked a lot into it, but I do believe there are vehicle driving portions, components. So we'll see. I'm just hoping that it is truly cooperative to make your way through like the Left 4 Dead series. I've never found a game that was more like co-op based and necessary than that game. And and it's been a few years since Left 4 Dead 2 came out. The other game I was looking to try is Burglin' Gnomes. A lot of people have recommended me try that game. It's another like kind of party game, kind of like Peak or whatever. RV there yet, that kind of vibe I get from it. Again, I haven't looked that much into it. You play garden gnomes and you're collecting stuff. I think you're stealing from some dude's house. That's all I know. It looks like it to be kind of silly fun. So
Bubba Hotep in chat is just got it, want it, need it, got it.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. You know how many players they are. I assume 4 players ish for each of them. So if people want to come and play those games with me tomorrow night, you're more than welcome.
Will, I'm so sorry. Was your score 72 or 74?
72.
Oh, okay. I wrote it down wrong on my piece of paper. Okay, thank you.
No worries.
And Dan, what do you got going on this coming week?
So Slay the Spire 2 just came out. This is a game that I've been anticipating for a while. I actually am pretty late to the party on Slay the Spire, but absolutely fell in love with it when I found it. Knowing the sequel was coming out, it kind of took a little of the wind out of my sails. I didn't want to spend too much time banging that game out, knowing that the next one was coming out within a couple of weeks. But that came out today, so there's a really good chance I'm actually going to end this stream and start up Slay the Spire 2 and play that for a little bit tonight. I'm really close to finishing off Mio, Memories in Orbit. It is, I don't think I'm being hyperbolic to say, one of my favorite games of all time. I am loving this game, and I'm seeing it's pretty split online between the people who are like, this is an absolute masterpiece, in line with things like Hollow Knight and Silksong, versus the people who are like, this game is awful and I can't understand how people enjoy it. I am definitely in the masterpiece camp on this one. So I'm looking forward to making a review of it once I actually do finish it off and just kind of say my piece and why I think some of the choices that the designers made actually make for a more engaging game and not the trash pile that some people are feeling that it is. I watched a short review on it, like on TikTok or something, and I liked it to start. Like he was ragging on the game, and I honestly thought it was satire because it was so drastically different from my opinions on every aspect of the game. And I was like, this is kind of funny. I wonder where he's going to go with this. And then I included like, oh, he actually just doesn't like these things. Like, I don't understand. Like, this is the best map I've ever had in a Metroidvania, which is saying a lot. And he's ragging on how bad it is. I'm like, I don't even understand your point of view. Is this rage bait? What is going on right now? So I'm really excited to talk about that one, make a review of it. So I do want to finish that one off. But with Slay the Spire coming out, it's also like, ooh, I hope it doesn't take too much of a backseat. So that's
what about you?
Sorry.
What about you, Brian? You said you're trying to work a little less. Does that mean more time for streaming?
Yes, it does. I dialed back some of my hours at the hardware store, so I'm only working 2 days a week instead of 4. That gives me a little bit more time to. It's lawn season, so I'll be doing yard work and landscaping and stuff. But in front of the camera, I am hoping to this week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, get in a couple hours each day. I want to work on finishing up Cyberpunk, the Phantom Liberty DLC. I want to try and finish that. I won't finish it, but I'll make a little headway on it. I also want to play some Dead Space. I've been doing that. and then of course get some more arc raiders in. I haven't got to play any of the new maps, so I am looking forward to getting back to streaming and doing a bit more. I know some people are like, where's Seven at? He's been gone for 3-4 weeks, and the only time I ever appear is here on the show, sometimes not even streaming this show, because there was one time when the studio was all tore apart, so I just went on Dan's channel. So yeah, I'll be coming back. I'm not going anywhere. It just got real hectic for a while, and life takes its toll. So stay tuned. I'll be making some more content, and then a couple months from now, the wife will be finished. Man, it'll be great. I'll have my sugar mama bringing in the bacon, and I'll be able to do. I'll probably do the same thing I've been doing, but I'd like to pretend that I'll have enough time to actually do some of those really interesting content pieces that I have had working in the back burner. I've been watching some of the old content creators like Mobile Gamer, Doolum from Marvel Strike Force, and like Doolam's taking a break from Marvel Strike Force. Mobile's saying the game's effed. And, because they're doing some shenanigans with trying to bottleneck players in different ways and stuff. And the usual stuff that was always going on over there. And I thought, oh, man, those were such great times to make fun of those guys. I need people I can make fun of in some sort of sarcastic manner. So I'd love to get back to doing something like that. But who knows? Maybe not in the cards just yet.
It's interesting you say that. Like, it's one of the things that I've been noticing recently. So, I have seen a lot of people... diehards who are like, I'm taking a break from Marvel Strike Force. Like I have to step away. I have to do whatever. So like, I've been noticing that as well. But one of the things, as much as I love where my channel's at and I love my audience and all this stuff, one of the things I've noticed is I'm missing a little bit of that community of the other streamers because I have you two and then just people that I kind of randomly raid out to, but like I don't. Oh, and Bubba Hotep, my apologies. The coalition in large. But I don't feel like I've got the same thing that I did in like the Envoy program or just with all the other content creators who are all in the same boat making the best content we can with this broken game and like just doing silly stuff. Like I was thinking the other day about Will and how much fun it was being on theater.
MSF Theater 3000.
MSF Theater.
Yeah.
That was a blast. And it's like, I'm kind of sad there's not something like that out there anymore. I do silly voices when I play Metroidvanias just for my own amusement, but it's not the same.
Yeah. No,
and now it's like we've got like whatever the hot game is for that month, which is kind of like Arc Raiders right now. And so I am playing with, or was not this week, but was playing with some other content creators like Will, Fost, T-Dub. There's people out there, but it's not the community it used to be at Marvel Strike Force where everybody knew everybody and talked about everybody else's stream. And
it's not that core game that everybody's on, right? We're all playing different games, some intersecting, some not. So it's just not that same vibe, right?
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, honestly, like Brian, you were a huge chunk of that too, because the recap was such a great way of like just knowing what everybody else in the community is doing every morning, right? Like there's this 3-minute video and it's going to tell you what's Doolum up to, what's all these guys doing, and you're just like, oh, that's great. Yeah, I do kind of want to see what Boilon's saying this week.
Yeah,
really.
That was a random name call out. It's just the first one that came to mind. But you know what I mean? It was just like, it was a different beast, and I'm so lucky and honored to have been a part of it at the time that I was. Will I ever be a part of a community like that again? Who knows? But it was pretty cool.
I vote that Run 7 just has to do like a recap for all of us for all of our games every week. Okay.
Hey, I'm working on things. Let's just say that I got some things I'm working on. It may be a year before I get to where I can really do something, but I was kind of working on some things that involve other people because I really enjoyed the recap. I just need to find a way to do it where I don't have to consume 11 hours of YouTube a day to make a 3-minute video. That's kind of rough. And it was easy when I was a truck driver and I was on the road 11 hours a day listening to YouTube. Yeah. It was fine. Now I can't do that. I can't do that now.
That makes sense.
When you quit, I had a couple people in the audience being like, you should do the recap. I'm like, fuck no, that seems like a lot of work.
I had a bunch of people say, hey, will you let so-and-so do the recap? Or says, somebody came and said, could I do the recap? And I was like, y'all can do whatever you want. It's fine. I don't own it. I didn't copyright it or anything like that. Do whatever you want. Just understand there was a huge amount of time that I had to put into that, not just for making the video itself, but for finding everybody and watching what they were doing, clipping stuff from their live streams. You know, it was rough. It was a lot.
Oh, I don't doubt it at all. I don't doubt it at all.
It was fun. It was fun.
Well, because it's not only watching that much content and deciding who goes on which week and who does whatever. You're also funny, and like that takes time, right? Like I doubt most of those jokes just came off the top of your head as you were recording.
A lot of it was kind of off the top, because what I did was I would just record a little clip about that video, and I did it live without any thinking about it or rehearsal. And it was just, I viewed that content creator and what was funny about them, whether it was them trying to be funny or it was them not trying to be funny, but it was funny. And I just pointed that out. That's all it was. It wasn't me being funny. It was the people I was watching were entertaining. And I was talking about that, and it came out pretty easy. So I can't really take credit for it. Plus, I'm a pretty big fan of stand-up comedy. I've always wanted to do stand-up comedy and sets of stand-up comedy, never really went for it, but I've always, I've tried to do some of that in my own content. There are a lot of my rants that I have gone on that are just things I have been thinking about in my spare time, and it came out on stream, and it was pretty darn funny. It was a 5-minute bit about Buc-ee's or something, and everybody thought it was really funny. And so, I try to do stuff like that. T-Tats putting up the link, wanting to watch more of those. I would love to, T-Tats, but I got to get going, man. It's almost 10 o'clock my time, and these guys are up even later because they live across the ocean in Canada, and it's 2 hours and 45 minutes later for them. So I'm going to bounce out of here. Thank you, gentlemen. This is wonderful. Chat, that was great. Oh, I'm going to raid Dan. Wait, Dan,
can you give me a second? Can I raid you
Dan,
real quick?
Yeah.
Jump to OBS
Dan's
and then
gonna raid me, and then I'm gonna raid back to Dan. I'm sure
Appreciate
that's how it's gonna work. Okay.
Run 7.
And I think that's all crazy talk. I'm just leaving. Y'all just jumping over to each other's pawns.
Let's just leave it. All right, T-Dats, you got your wish. We're gonna go ahead and watch whatever link you just put up here for me.
It's a good one.
Cheers, everybody. Have a good night.
Appreciate
Enjoy
the chats,
everyone's raid.
guys. As always, I'm glad.